Hey, what is going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, and we are moving on and forward into the content that was released within Black Armory. And if I do say so myself, a lot of players are probably feeling like that content is running dry. Thankfully, we do have Niobe Labs and the 4th Forge getting ready to drop, so hopefully that's going to add in some fresh new things for Guardians to go and pursue within the game world right now. I'm interested in seeing what they're going to be doing with this 4th Forge. We know that there's some other weird stuff going on with Black Armory weapons right now. We've still got a couple of exotics like the Izanagi's Burden as well as the Jotun that we haven't seen. We know that Black Armory weapons have that little kind of glamour seeming tab that we really don't know what it's for yet. Hopefully it has something to do with that forge. But certainly, the problem of some of the Black Armory content running a bit dry has definitely been on a lot of Guardians' minds as of late. That stuff has been on a slow drip feed, a bit of time gating for the entirety of Black Armory's release, including a bit of content tied to an old exotic that a lot of Guardians have been waiting for. The Last Word, tied to the exotic quest The Draw, which we know is dropping on January 29th. Now, me personally, I have certain issues with the way time-gated content works. I understand why the content with the Forge releasing and Niobe Labs and The Draw, I understand why all this content was sequentially unleashed. Bungie is attempting to make this stuff last 3 months, or at least 2.5 months. That way, hopefully by the time all of this content is out, you'll have enough time to go through all of that, and maybe be a week or two away from the next bit of annual pass content that's scheduled to drop at the beginning of March, Joker's Wild. And for the most part, I'd say it's worked fairly well. You know, we got to play through all of December. We're in January now. We're working our way towards this next Forge unlock. We've got the Draw coming up, and then hopefully we'll have a couple of weeks of fun in whatever events Bungie's going to bring in, like Iron Banner. Maybe even Crimson Doubles, and then by the time March rolls around, boom, Joker's Wild, we're back on the content train. I understand why the time gating has happened, but it doesn't really make it feel any better. Just knowing why it's there doesn't exactly make the time gating feel any better. And I think nowhere is that more felt than with the exotic quest for the Last Word, The Draw. This thing is dropping on January 29th, the very end of this month. When they first announced that, I was super bummed about it because, of course, the Last Word, very exciting that this weapon is returning. It's got a huge history with the Destiny franchise, especially with myself. It was one of my favorite weapons way back in the day in Destiny 1. And I was unbelievably excited to get the chance at getting this weapon back in Destiny 2. But I was also quite a bit worried. When they announced the Draw quest, we saw it's coming on the 29th. Okay, we're time gating that, we're waiting for that to release. But I was really petrified that they were going to do with the Last Word what they did with the Thunderlord, where they basically dropped this 3-week quest where you can complete 1 step a week. And ooh, that really burned me up. You Guardians know I made a lot of jokes about that when it happened. I thought that was not the greatest way to introduce that weapon, especially at the end of Festival of the Lost. And so, of course, when it comes to the quest for the Last Word, I was super terrified that they were going to do the same thing with the Draw. It was maybe going to be a 4 to 5 part quest where you could only do 1 step a week. Well, thankfully, Guardians, community managers are to the rescue on this one. And it actually seems like that's not going to be the case. Earlier this week, this thread popped up over on the Destiny the Game subreddit saying, please don't make the Draw a 3-week long quest, with Guardians echoing my same concerns about basically further time gating this content. If we can have the Last Word quest just drop and I can just complete it all in one day if I'm really dedicated, I would love that. And thankfully, we actually got some official word from Cozmo, who quickly took to the thread to say this: you will be able to complete the steps at your own pace and won't have to wait on any resets. Yo, that is exactly what I wanted to hear when it came to the Last Word quest. It's exactly the words I wanted to hear coming out of anyone from Bungie's mouth. This confirms that the Draw quest, which is starting again on January 29th, will not be time gated. You'll be able to complete all the steps at your own pace. So if you're somebody like me who's really excited for the Last Word, January 29th rolls around, you want to start that quest off. If you're good enough to get all the steps done, you will be able to get it as quickly as possible. So thankful for that. But then, of course, that leads to the question, what are the quest steps for the Last Word? Well, we actually might have an idea. There's been quite a few leaks concerning the Last Word, including some of the potential quest steps. So for the rest of this video, we're going to go through those really quickly, talking about some of the enemies and locations we'll be going to in order to get our hands on that beautiful piece of Tex Mechanica work. Now, these leaks partially came from some data mining of the PC version of Destiny 2. And they involve some surprising aspects like the Drifter, the Weapons of Sorrow, and a questline that might just be leading into Joker's Wild itself. We even actually get some audio lines from the Drifter during this talking about you wielding the last word. And if you'd like to catch the Reddit thread with a lot of this leaked information, I'll leave a link to it down in the description box below. But let's go through the supposed quest steps to get your hands on the last word. Step number 1. Guardians will be collecting edge crystals from wanted escapees in the Forges, which seems to suggest that we'll be heading into the Forges to take out specific mobs. There are named enemies that pop up in some of the Forges, so these will likely be the enemies that we'll be taking out. An example of this would be the Centurion who spawns within the Volander Forge. So, if true, these are likely going to be the types of enemies you'll need to take down in order to get edge crystals. Next up, for step number 2, we're going to need to earn Revenge and Avenger medals in the Crucible. How many you'll need to get is currently unknown. This one's actually pretty simple, just head into the Crucible and start taking people down. It's easy enough to get Revenge and Avenge medals either way. I do believe the names are Best Served Cold and Blood for both Revenge and Avenger kills. You can earn these medals in virtually any game mode, so you can just head on into Quick Play, and this step shouldn't take you too long. Moving on, step number 3, you'll need to defeat Hive with precision kills. Once again, how many you'll need to defeat is currently unknown. This step is certainly simple enough. Just head out into really any of the world spaces that contain Hive, likely on Titan. You can just go in there, blast away until you've gotten enough precision kills. Moving on to step 4, it looks like you're going to need to take part in the Witch's Ritual public event on Titan. You might need to go through the heroic version of this public event to sacrifice some Hive bosses. This actually looks like it might tie into a brand new quest within the database titled The Damnation, which, if you search it up in the database, you'll find is a level 50, 650 power level quest that takes place in the New Pacific Arcology on Titan. The text for the activity says that the artifact is calling to something dark. Uncover a dark ritual on Titan to stop the twisted ceremony. And based on what we know for the story of this quest, we're going to be hunting down what looks to be another weapon of sorrow, much like Thorn from back in Destiny 1. This actually lines up a lot with some of the story elements we've been getting as of late, as well as the boss that we'll be facing off in the final step of this quest, ENKAAR. ENKAAR is a Hive weapons master who's hiding in the Hellrise Canyon in the Tangled Shore. This is yet another bit of information that we can actually corroborate with stuff that we've already gleaned from the Destiny 2 database. We've actually gotten a picture of ENKAAR himself with a very interesting looking Hive gun that kind of feels a bit reminiscent of Thorn, once again another one of the weapons of sorrow. Anyways, defeating him will generally complete this quest and hopefully reward you with the last word. The signature gun of one Shin Malphur. At least if these leaks are to be believed. Remember, a few of this stuff is confirmed, stuff like the conversation with ENKAAR, the Hive weapon master. And the Damned are in the database right now, so it does kind of corroborate some of the stuff going on with like the weapons of sorrow and how it ties into this. But for the most part, most of these quest steps have not been explicitly confirmed. It's all leaked stuff, so we'll see when January 29th rolls around. But alright Guardians, that is going to be it for this one. I am super psyched and very happy the last word is returning, and that we're not going to have to wait too much longer after the 29th rolls around before we can get our hands on the weapon. But anyways, that's all the information I've got, and those are my thoughts. Be sure to leave me yours down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. With a brand new Forge on the horizon, we've certainly still got a lot of Destiny 2ing to do. I'll catch you Guardians out there. As always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.